Welcome at Mr. Data Business School and Consulting. Give me 1 minute to connect with my other colleague about machine learning, what we go to discuss today in this session. So give me a minute. Good afternoon, Ali. Do you hear me, Ali? Your microphone is on mute.
Okay. What about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Good
Very good.
afternoon, Ali. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you very much. What about you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. And it is a busy day today. And we are here with 4 colleagues. And
That's great.
everyone,
That's lovely. That's lovely.
everyone is ready. So Ali, please can you start?
Yes. First of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time zone you guys are in, and welcome aboard. The reason of recording this session today is to get the answer of only one question, which is, are we ready for the future? What is the future going to be and what we are going to do with it? Okay, so our main topic, I think so what I'll do is I'll give the floor to each and every one of you. You guys introduce yourself and then I'll proceed with my question. What you say about that?
That's a good
Sound
idea.
okay?
Yeah,
So
that
you
sounds
start
good.
then.
Okay, my name's Mondi. I'm one of the members of Mr. Data Business School, and I have more than 8 years experience in the big data and data analytics industry. I studied business information systems at the South University in Maastricht, and later on I work for big clients like uh, T-Mobile, ING Bank, and Atos Origin, and a lot of other companies. Yeah. So, and
Oh, that's great.
um, I deliver courses most time together with my members, with my colleagues. Yeah. So in machine learning, data analytics. Yeah, that's SAP course. So that's what I'm
That's
doing
great.
at Mr.
That's
Data.
great.
Classroom
That's great.
courses and online courses.
That's great. That's great. Okay. So moving on, I'll have this floor to Asad. Asad, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Asad, and I recently just graduated in software engineering here from Pakistan, and I'll be moving to Sweden this month for my master's in software engineering at the Chalmers University.
That's great.
And here at Mr.
That's
Data,
great.
I'll be delivering the courses of the SAP basic courses for the trainers, for the beginners, and I have been a member of Mr. Data from the beginning.
Great.
That's lovely. That's lovely. That's lovely. So moving on to you, the last member, the main person of today's talk, Mr. Ram.
Thank you, Ali. So, I've been part of this Mr. Data for quite some time, and I have around 10 years of experience in analytics and software engineering. And I have moved into data science and machine learning track for around 5 years. So, I've been part of many service-based industries, and I have worked and built machine learning models for finance-based companies, manufacturing companies, and oil gas companies in various areas like image analytics, core machine learning, deep learning models. So yeah, that's my brief introduction. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. So do I need to introduce myself as well, or we should proceed?
Yes, you can do it. Like, good idea. I think Ali.
Okay. So my name is Ali Raza Shakir, and I'm one of the trainers of Mr. Data Business School. I have done masters in data science, and I'm a lead trainer in Tableau and Power BI. I have worked with a lot of different companies altogether. I have worked them, I have and assessed them with their projects on and off, and I think so. That's about it. So let's move on to our main question right now, the reason of this podcast. I would like to ask this question specifically with RAM itself, because our main topic today is machine learning and deep learning. So can you just shed some light over this thing, Ram? How you see the future of machine learning, especially in the future, how you see that it's going to transform the world, and what are your views, and how it going to help the people to land good jobs? The floor is yours.
That's a great question. So, world is moving towards machine learning and deep learning. So, basically, machine learning is a study by itself, where we are training machines or programs or algorithms with the historical data. Now, if you see, the companies are having a vast amount of historical data they have stored in various systems like databases, SAP-based systems, CRM-based systems, etc. Now we cannot write rule for each one of these systems, so it will be very cumbersome and it will take a lot of time. So instead of that,
Okay.
we are using the data to train the algorithm so that it learn by itself and keep on learning by itself to do the actions which we want to do. For example, for predicting the future prices of the stock exchange, or predicting whether the transaction is a fraudulent or not, or classifying whether the image is a particular animal or not. So all these thing is now done automatically and using the learnings. The algorithm learns by itself. So this particular technology is going to revolutionize the world, and we are going to see a lot of new business processes being run by machine learning and deep learning models. So that's a brief
Okay.
introduction about this technology, and we will
Mhm.
look deep into that as it progresses.
Okay. So one of my prime question is, because I'm very me and Mr. Mondi was conducting a last podcast and we discussed this thing very heavily about it, is the fourth IR, the fourth industrial revolution.
Yeah.
Can you share anything information about this thing? Because I have seen one of the very good slides which you shared with me before, where you have explained. I think so. If you go a bit up, I
Yes.
think so you'll find it there.
Yeah.
Like what kind of the fourth revolutions that has been there altogether. I
So
think so.
if
This
you
is
see, yeah, this is the slide which I had shared with you on Modi. So here you can see some of the major revolutions that had happened in the world. So for example, like steam engine has revolutionized the way we travel, and it has improved the connectivity the people from the early 90s. And then we can slowly introduce to various other modes of transport. And then we had internet, which revolutionized the way we communicate across the globe, and it has enabled the global industries, etc., etc. So you can see these kind of major revolutions that had happened and shaped the world. But what is the future? So if you see the technologies, there is some revolution keep on happening, and now the revolution is going to be the machine learning. So every business processes, every industries are planning to bring in machine learning in their processes so that they can streamline the process, bring more benefits, and improve the profit, etc. So this will be the major
that's correct.
revolution that we are going to see in this 21st century, and this is going to last for a long time. Yes.
All right. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna add one more person over. I would like the views of Mr. Holton on this particular slide as well, because I want your views on this one as well, Mondi.
Yes, the world is really changing, and a lot of company and people they don't understand it anymore. They don't. A lot of companies and people they do not mention that the world is really changing nowadays, and it
Mm-hmm.
is, if you ask me, the five most uh, big change in the world ever, because
Uh-huh.
people do now everything with data. For example, a lot of they chatting, they make pictures, but also in China they scan your face, and so what's important in this course and in the next years, that we are make ourselves ready for big data, that we make ourselves ready for machine learning, because a lot of jobs will disappear, and there will be a lot of new jobs comes and give you more new opportunity to learn and grow. And that's how it works by Mr. Data. We are a learn and a grow platform. We help people and our clients to grow by data.
That's great. That's great. That's great. Very fascinating point, and I'm really very captivated about this thing. Like I can really dug into it, and I can understand the way the world is shifting, the way the jobs market is moving. I came across a lot of people every day who keep on asking, "I'm not able to find the job. I'm not getting good money." So I put both this question in front of both of you. Asad, I'll add you later on in the session, but let me first have a juggle between Ram and Mr. Holton over here. Where you think the money is going to be in the future job-wise? My question is with Ram and Mr. Holton, both of you.
So if you see the world is shifting, so most of the jobs are becoming digital in nature. So therefore, machine learning and the people who are skilled in machine learning and data science, they are going to earn a lot of money. For example, if you see the average pay scale for US, the average pay for a data scientist is around 100 k US dollars. So
Uh-huh.
that is an average pay. At the higher side, you will have a more, and the companies are willing to pay more for the skills you have. And since if you see this machine learning, it's not a proprietary based system, it's an open source system. Every technology is an open source. So you have an opportunity to learn them easily. For example,
That's great.
Python, deep learning based frameworks, TensorFlow, etc. is completely free to available, and anybody with a laptop and a good GPU can download that and work on that and reskill them. So therefore, there is a plenty of opportunity in this area, and the more you skill you have, the more the company is ready to pay for you. So this particular thing is adopted recently. Therefore, this will have a traction for 20 to 30 years, and the people with right skill in data science and machine learning can have a roadmap for a long time in terms of earnability and employability. So that's
That's
my
great.
view. Let's have Moody's
That's
view as well.
Yes, please.
Yep. Mondi, you're up.
I think that that I explain it later on in our presentation because it is good to uh,
Uh-huh.
give the answer on about this question later on.
Okay. So let's hold on this question answer from Holton side. So let me ask you the question then. Let's come to your course. How you guys are entertaining and helping the people to get know this knowledge, and what is your learning patterns, like how you guys are, because I can understand from my point of view everybody has its own different levels. You understand my point, right? Like
Hmm.
there might be a basic level, there might be an intermediate level, and there might be an expert level, because not everybody is well versed with these technologies. They don't know. Most of the people are like me, transferring from other non-IT fields to IT fields, and it becomes a bit hard for them to understand this thing. So can you share your information about how you're going to help those people?
Do you hear me?
Yes, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay, great. I'm again back again.
Great. So please start with your answer.
What's your? I don't hear your question.
You didn't hear my question.
No.
The question is about the same thing. That how you're going to help the people who are coming in this industry. Do you offer different levels? Because not everybody is going to be on the same page. Few people will be very new, beginners level. Few people will be on intermediate level with basic knowledge. Few people will have good knowledge, but they want to go to an expert level. So how you're going to cater all these people? Do you
Yes.
offer different levels and everything like that?
Good question. First, I would like I go to answer your question. We have different levels. That's the answer in short about the question. And what I would like to tell a little bit about the way of working, the way between the difference between Mr. Data Business School and a university. So what we see is that since 1900, the way of learning, if you ask me, is not changed. On a moment, there is a
Uh-huh.
moment that people make a decision to follow a course or to follow a university. And in that moment, they make a decision for the rest of their life. They make a decision for the next 20 years. And before they
Mm-hmm.
start with the university, and then they invest a lot of money, or the parents or other people, uh, and they follow the course. They listen to the teacher. If you look here on this page, and later on, after 4 years, they think, hey, I have a problem because I take the wrong course,
Mm-hmm.
because or I don't like it, or what I was planned to learn 4 years ago is not need anymore in the market nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So as results,
Mm-hmm.
that they are unhappy and that they work as a barista in a coffee bar. So that's
My
the
God,
yeah,
is that
that's
what happens? Is that what happens? Like they teach you how to make coffee in the college or university for 4 years?
yeah, that's so. I talk with a lot of people that happens. They study
Mm-hmm.
law, or they study another course, or and they cannot find a job in the degree where they finish the education.
Uh-huh. 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 That's
So
right.
they
Right.
do
Right.
not learn to be a barista, but they have no other choice to
Go and work out there because they have to
yes.
do something. I got it. I got it.
So,
So,
so if I look to our solution at Mr. Data Business School, we are a business school. So we have a department, Mr. Data Consulting. So by the consulting, we help the requests and problems
okay.
for the companies, and by the uh, business
Mm-hmm.
school, we help the student skill gap problems. So they need new
Uh-huh.
skills nowadays, and they don't know how to manage that. And they do not like to follow a course for the next 4 years. So our program are maximum 12 months. So
Okay.
and we have that split in different levels. So people, they would like just have the beginnings levels. They can follow level 1. And in level
Okay.
1, they start with online courses, online video conference calls like this. They get the
Okay.
basics. And if they would like to dive in more in 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 the world of big data, and they would like to dive more about and they would like to learn more about machine learning, they go to the next level. And in the next
Mm-hmm.
level, level 2 and 3, they get also classroom courses, and they get
Okay.
the possibility to make tests, and that are the day courses. And if they really would like to get a job with it, then they can also follow the boot camp. And in
Okay.
and in the boot camp, we have level 3 and 4, and there you get a job, and then you go to work for the consulting. So it is a cyclus. So it's a Mr. Data cyclus. It never stops, because the technology nowadays changed too fast to only just to learn for 4 years. You have to update it.
Uh-huh.
So
Update yourself.
every time you go, if there are new technology, you go back to school, you learn it online in the classroom, and then you make your test, and that's how we do that. And if we get requests out of the market and we need extra analyzing, we let analyze the one of our best students to analyze the problems and the needs from the clients, the companies.
That's
They
great. That's
have
great. That's
requests.
great. That's great. That's great. So you are basically catering all the levels You're teaching the basics levels, moving up to the boot camp level where you're actually with the hands-on practice, you're helping them to understand, you're making them the industry ready. Okay, that's great. So let me
Great.
wrap this thing up by asking some quick 3-4 questions which everybody wants to know. Like every person who is interested in such courses, he has some questions on the top of their head. So I'm going to ask those questions to you or to Ram, whosoever deem fit. Please answer those for me. So first question is, if you want to start this question, who this course is specifically for? Who is the current audience for this course?
I think everyone they would like to have a better future and dive in the world of big data. They are ready to start this course. And from level 1 to level 3, there is no requirements to dive in the course. Yes. So, and if you would like to have a job guarantee and to have the coding bootcamp, there are GMAT score required, because if you go to work at Mr. Data Consulting, we only would like to have the best students and employees, and the most students and people with the background, they have a computer science background, and they can get it at the level 1, 2, and 3. And so 1, 2, and 3, there is no background required. If you would like to have more details, uh, if you would like to go to level 3 and 4, there are requirements for the course.
Prerequisites required over there. Yeah, they are prerequisites for that. Okay, that's great. That's right. Okay, so
Yeah.
can you just share some information or enlighten us about the curriculum of it? What's the curriculum of this course? And this question is specifically with Ram, because I know he's the lead trainer of this course. So Ram, can you just tell me what's the main curriculum or main course of this complete your program, this deep learning program?
Yeah. So, Modi, can you go to the three different curriculums which we have?
Yes, of course.
So basically what we are trying to cover is that we give an overview about the machine learning to our students in the part of L1 training. So here we will cover the
Okay.
basics of the machine learning and also the basics of the Python, so that the students from
Okay.
any background, maybe they are from arts or law or engineering or any background, can pick it up and then understands the basic concepts of the machine learning and how to apply them
Okay.
for the business benefits. That will be the focus on the L1 course. So as we progress to
Okay.
the next level, like L2 and L3, we will bring in a lot of practical sessions, so that and also the business use case, the which is impacting some of the industries, so that the students will got to learn which is happening in the industry and also how to apply the machine learning practically. So here we will impart the best practices as well as the core concepts of machine learning, and also we will take them to the deep learning courses. So deep learning is the next big thing after the machine learning, and it also a different kind of an architecture. So we will give an overview about the
Okay.
various architectures of the deep learning and give an introduction to them. So this will be part of level 2 and 3. And when we progress on to the next levels, then you will have the advanced courses on deep learning, where we will explain about the advanced concepts, how the deep learning can be used for image processing, sequence language processing, all those things. So these are some is a high level overview of the courses, and we have a catalog brochure which Mr. Mondi will be sharing to the students once they avail the courses, and they can see and see what are the different topics covered in these courses.
Or my colleagues
Okay.
from the support desk can also deliver that.
Yep.
Yeah.
We always do that. Okay. The final question will be: do they need to bring anything with them? Do they need anything extra in order to start this course or something like that?
No, it's a very basic requirement. So they need to have a laptop. But other than that, all the components which is required for this
Okay.
course is available open source, like Python language is an open source. All the learning language packages is open source. So they need to bring a laptop with a minimum processing capacity with 8 GB RAM or so, and then we can download, we can walk them through on how to download these open source platform, install them in the laptop, and then they can start
Okay.
moving on in the classes.
Okay, great. Because as there's a lot of talk of there's a lot of talk in the town about the artificial intelligence, specifically machine learning leading to artificial intelligence. So I like to talk more about this thing, and I like to engage Ram on this thing. So Ram, where you think is the execution of these learnings? Like where you think the people require? Where is the job lying when you learn these skills? So can you share more information about this thing?
So yeah, before going to that, let me just highlight some of the universities which is offering the data science courses and how our B school is stand apart from that. So if you
All
see
right.
this particular slide, you can see different countries and they are charging a huge amount of money for per year, and it takes a lot of time. It takes 2 years or 3 years to complete these courses. And
Okay.
Moni, can you move to the next slide?
Yes, of course.
So here, even in Netherlands, we have the similar stories where they are charging around 12,000 to 15,000 euros per year. So our courses basically focused on giving a quick technology and know-hows to the students and how to train them quickly in the machine learning, not to take a lot of time, not a 1 year or 2 year journey. So we will have a
Okay.
integrated course which starts from the basics and gradually move to the higher level and the advanced level in a span of let's say 12 months. And whatever you see in university for 3 or 4 years, we will cover that in 1 year and less in cost. So that is the idea about
Mm-hmm.
offering machine learning and deep learning course as part of this Mr. Data B School. And coming to your question, so as I said, this is
Okay.
not focused on any niche group. So this is open to all, whoever the students,
Okay.
professional who is interested in machine learning and they wanted to enrich their skill set, they can avail this course. There is no barrier as such. And only thing is that they need
Mm-hmm.
to have an interest. And if they know a little bit of programming language, that will be a great add-in. But other than that,
Mm-hmm.
they can, anybody can join in and learn the machine learning courses.
Okay.
And
I like to hold on this thing. Now you mentioned that okay, anybody can join in, but if somebody has some basic language understanding, so can you name the languages which they need to have and basic understanding, which is a plus point, of course. Which
yeah,
languages will you guys?
so we have a slide for that. Moni, can you do that? Yes. So here in the slide, you can see what are the different languages which is used in machine learning as well as the deep learning areas. So basically, we have the main two language, which is the Python and R. So there are some areas where people prefer R language. There are areas where people prefer Python language. For example, R is very high on statistical based computing, and it's basically
Okay.
introduced by statisticians and academia, and also nowadays they are also bringing in machine learning modules into the R. But whereas the Python is an end-to-end
Okay.
programming language, and it is more into data science, and there are a lot of open source frameworks which is available, and it's a go-to language for any data scientist, machine learning practitioners. So whereas you also have some of the other language like
Okay.
Scala, which is a which is Apache based language, and so you have a big data ecosystem and you want to work on that, then you need to learn Scala. But
Okay.
overall, if you have a skill set in Python, that will be a good enough for your journey in data science.
Okay.
And yeah,
I
so in
have
the
just
slide,
a quick
yeah,
question here. I'm sorry, I'm just
Okay.
interrupting you. I just
That's
have a quick
correct.
question here. Um,
yeah,
like, if a client or a student is coming in at our website and he has no practical
Yeah. Yeah. Please.
background
Please.
or
Please.
the education background in the computer sciences field, as we discussed it earlier, that in the university system has not been changed until from 1900s to 2019, you can say. But
mhm.
if you can say a client is coming into our website and he or she has no educational background in computer sciences, but they realize that they have an interest in machine learning. Will they be able to opt this course?
Yes, of
Very
course.
good
So
question.
if I say that the machine learning has been adapted in some of the industries like media as well as in our industry where arts are being generated automatically by machine learning. So there are people who completely unaware of machine learning, who doesn't have any skill set in computer programming, who are availing machine learning and deep learning or data science based courses. So that's where the L1 course comes into play. Here we assume that the students coming into the course is completely unaware of machine learning, so they are at the beginning stage or doesn't know any programming language. So in the LN course, we will cover the basics of the Python language. So as simple as learning alphabets in English. So we will cover step by step on the Python language so that they can understand and how to execute the Python code. So once they are a little bit strong about this will be covered for 1 or 2 weeks. When they are strong in this language, then we will slowly introduce the concepts of machine learning so that they can understand the machine learning and they can use the Python to go further. So therefore, there
That's
is
great.
no barrier. So anybody who has the willpower and want to learn a new skill can join in.
Okay, that's great.
That's great. That's great. Okay, now I have a question from Mr. Holton itself because I can see that slide over there, and I'll refer back to this question again. My question was like, okay, fine, we are done with this kind of a course. We are learning machine learning. We are learning artificial intelligence. Where the job lies, like where the people should go after learning these courses, where is the sectors we are hiring the most people who have knowledge of machine learning and artificial intelligence. My question is with Mr. Holton this thing.
Yeah, the question is, the answer on the question is, it is everywhere, machine learning and deep learning, because yeah, a lot of companies like Airbnb, Facebook, Coca-Cola, BW, they use already the technology in machine learning, and they will and other companies will follow. And I think Ram can tell more
Uh-huh.
about that. But I think it's also to give Ram the possibility to answer some questions about the most important things what people ask to us and to Ram.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you go to the previous slide, I will just give an overview of that. Molly, can you move to the previous slide? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So here you can see the three different concepts. So in the industry, you could have heard about some people talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. In some areas they overlap, and in some areas they are distinct from one another. For example, artificial intelligence is an overall system. It's like for example, like a self-driving car, which leverages rule-based engine as well as the machine learning based models. Whereas the machine learning is a programming paradigm where we introduce historical data and we ask the machine learning algorithms to learn from itself and then use that for the predicting something in the future. So deep learning
Uh-huh.
is nothing but similar to the machine learning, but the architecture, how it works, is quite different from the machine learning. So it basically resembles that of your brain. So in your brain, there is a neurons, and each of the neurons are programmed to do certain particular task. So similarly, scientists have seen the brain, how it works, and similarly, they brought that understanding to the machine learning, and they have designed the deep learning and created artificial neural networks. So here artificial because everything mimics that of the brain system. So therefore it's artificial neural networks. And there is a lot of innovation
Uh-huh.
happening in this particular field, and you can see a lot of architectures coming out of that. So moving on
Uh-huh.
to the next slide, Molly.
Yes, of course.
So as I said, artificial intelligence is a broad term. It's a kind of a branch study by itself. So artificial intelligence not only leverages a rule-based system, it also leverages a machine learning and deep learning models. So when you see
Okay.
a self-driving car, which is invented by Google recently, so you have a central processing system in place in that car, which has rule-based as well as the machine learning models. For example, so there will be a camera fitted in the car which observes what is happening in real time. The images are fed into the camera, the images are processed by deep learning models, and then the information is given back to the central processing unit. There it decides whether to put a brake, divert from it, or go slow on a particular scenario. So this entire
Mm-hmm.
system is called as an artificial intelligence system. Similarly, you can see some of the examples like IBM Watson, so which is a platform. It has many APIs like image processing, voice processing, etc., etc. And AlphaGo is very recent, and I mean, it made a news that it was able to defeat some of the human strategists and players in Go game. So it is as efficient as that. It can use the reinforced learning to master the skill set in and then defeat you in the same game. Similarly, there are so many innovations is coming up. So this entire system as a whole is called as artificial intelligence systems. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So now the whole thing is like revolving around it, and artificial intelligence is all about the integration of the technology along with the coding and everything. What about machine learning? As you said, it's more about the software paradigm, which actually being fed through the historical data is going to predict the future. So, what about this
Yeah.
thing? Can you share more about it?
Yes, Ali. So here in machine learning, so we had talked about artificial intelligence as a system. So what is powering this artificial intelligence? So you need a brain. So machine learning is nothing but a brain in the system. So here we are training the algorithms using the historical data. So we
Uh huh.
cannot define a rule every time. For example, just 10 or 15 years before, we had softwares, and softwares were coming based on the rule based. So there were software engineers who are programming rules in Java, C++ languages. So as the complexity increases, it will be impossible for us to keep on typing or defining rules. That's where the machine learning comes into play. Now here we have to select an algorithm and clean the data, extract that data and clean the data, do feature engineering, and then feed the data into the platform. So therefore, uh, uh, previous slide, Monty. Yeah. So we feed it into the model. The model will learn by itself, and then it can used in prediction. For example, predicting the credit risk of a customer, or predicting weather patterns, or it can be used in any number of scenarios. So the companies, that's where the use cases are evolving, and you can see n number of use cases used by industries, and there is a great demand for machine learning. So you can see the stages here. We have a data extraction stage, we have a feature engineering stage, model building, model tuning, and finally putting the model in
Then
a
the model
production.
building, and
Yes.
okay,
So
so that's
within
how it
within machine
goes.
learning, within
That's
machine learning, you have various types: supervised, unsupervised. So we, as a part of the course, we will cover these in depth, like what is supervised, what is unsupervised, what is reinforced learning, what is deep learning. Yes.
That's great. That's okay. Anything else would you like to add for the new the person who is willing to enroll in this course? If they have anything in their mind, like you came across a lot of students who ask such questions, anything you would like to address on those lines?
So I would say that I would ask the students to have an open mind. Do not get worried about what they know to avail this course, because this machine learning and deep learning will be a part of your curriculum going forward, and then you would have to learn these skill sets to make you employable in many industries. So therefore,
Hmm.
have an open mind. Come here. We know what you are aware of. We know that you may not be knowing about machine learning previously. So we have enough
Hmm.
resources and also the training materials, and also we will be connecting you in real time So therefore, you can ask any queries as a whenever in the course. So we can guide you how to learn this machine learning and deep learning. Yes.
That's great. That's great. So, anything else you guys want to add before I wrap up this podcast, Mr. Holton?
Let me see. Not. No, I think we mentioned a lot of things. Yeah, there are 3 easy steps. Yeah, to start the course. Go to our website and select the course. And if you have any questions, please let us know. And yeah, that's how it works.
That's great. That's great. So, okay, then I'll come back to the final question, which is the most important one to few people, the pricing of your courses. So I have heard about it, but I want you guys to let me know because I'm the part of the team, so I know that. So,
Yeah.
so can you just let us know about the new pricing details which you were recently discussing with us?
Yeah, so we have so what we expect is that the price will increase the next next. This is this is price which you see here
Mm-hmm.
is for the period in August, and the price will change because we are changing the way of working. We will increase in the next period the quality of our course, and we get a lot of new certification system in.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
on this moment is the price for the level 1. Sorry, for the day course
Okay.
is 1597,
Okay.
and you will get 3 sessions for that. And
I
this
think so. I think so, Monty. We were just discussing something else on the pricing section, where you was just telling that okay, we are going to offer 3 different sections. You have a monthly plan of $35.
yeah, but it's not done yet.
It's not done yet, so you can just let us know about it. Like I'll ask. Okay, you said you yes, we have recently make a plan for the people, monthly plan. Then we have quarter plans, and then we have annual plans. So people can go from $35 till $12,000. So you can just reply in this way, so the people can have an idea.
Okay, yeah, okay, let's do it
Okay.
again.
Okay. So now, thank you very much, Ram. That was very well explained. So let me come down to the main question because that's the most important question I know everybody has on their mind. The pricing. What are the pricing of your courses? Because I heard I'm as a part of the team. I know it already, but I have heard that there are some new pricing schemes you're going to launch in this after this podcast. So would you like to share information about it?
Yes, it is total new. So it is not officially yet.
Okay.
What is important to inform that that we have different price ranges for different
Okay.
people. So it is possible to have just the beginners level, the overview courses. We
Mm-hmm.
start with €35 a month. So
Uh-huh.
that can be €500 a year.
Okay.
And then we have the and yeah, so that is really focused on the basic and on the online courses. And if you
Uh-huh.
would like to have interaction, and if you would like to have also classroom courses, and follow uh, follow if you would like to have classroom courses, and you would like to follow also the classroom, and if you also would like to follow the
Don't worry, pick up the call. We can take it from again. We can start it again. Don't worry.
okay.
You pick up the call.
Hey, Paulo. Ik kom eraan. Ik kom eraan. Hi.
You've been training before as well, Ram?
Yeah, here there are some institutes where I will try.
So yeah, and yeah. So we have
We'll,
different.
we'll, we'll start. We'll start it from the top. We cannot just edit it like this. Okay. So we'll start it from the top.
What do you mean?
Like this question, I'm gonna ask this question again.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Ram, for explaining all this, King. And now I have a very important question, which most of the people ask me, which is the pricing. So and I know that you guys are launching new pricing schedules to facilitate different level of people. So can you share some information about it?
It is not officially, but it is good to give you already answered about the questions. So what we see is that yeah, we also look around us, and for example, Lynda.com and Udemy, they also deliver courses, and we also would like to help people with other price ranges to give them an
That's great.
overview. So we also go to deliver courses that start from 35 euros a month.
That's great.
And
That's
that
great.
gives the opportunity to have people in with a lower budget, and that they can just get some ideas about machine learning.
That's great.
and
That's great.
and then we have a level 2, and that starts with 1,000 euros to 3,000 euros. And if you would like to have a boot camp and with a job placement, yeah, there we have also another price range that is around the start between the 10,000 and 15,000 euros. And besides, because that job place program, we also design a scholarship program.
That's lovely.
So
That's
for
lovely.
people they have no budget for between the 10 and 20,000 euros, only the best students, they can apply for a scholarship. And by the scholarship, there's a possibility for a small select group of students. They can follow also this job place program.
That's great.
So, and if they would like to apply for that scholarship, it costs them 1,000 euros.
That's great. That's great. So you are really, really, really giving a lot of options to the students to accommodate them on different levels. That's
Correct.
great to know. That's great to know. So towards the end of this podcast, I think so we have gone into 1 hour almost. So I would like to thank you all of the three gentlemen. The last one has left us, but I'd like to thank Bolton,
Yeah.
Ram, and Asad for joining us, and thank you very much for sharing the information. And it was really helpful. I think so it's going to be helpful. If you guys have any questions, if you have any further information you require, you can always get back to us from emailing us through info@mrdata.nl. And if you have any questions, do let us know, get back to us, and our support team will be there to help you and assist you with that. So with this thing, I'll like to wrap up this podcast. We like to have, thank you very much for listening this podcast, and you guys have a wonderful day ahead of yourself. And thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.